Hey everyone, and welcome back to Stogie Review. For this review, I'm doing the new Gloria Cubana Colección Reserva in the Robusto size. First released in 2017 at IPCPR trade show in Las Vegas, this new Gloria Cubana is a collaboration between Ernesto Perez Carrillo and General Cigar. Now, this blend is supposed to harken back to the time whenever Gloria Cubana was first around, when they were making their cigars in Miami in the early 80s. In 1999, Ernesto Perez Carrillo sold Gloria Cubanas to General Cigar, and he later left and formed his own. About 10 years later, he formed his own line, EP Carrillo Cigars. So this is not the first time that he's been back to do a collaboration. I think it was in 2014 or so. They collaborated on a cigar called Reunited. I never got a chance to try that cigar, which I kind of really wanted to, because I love, EP Carrillo cigars, so not one I was going to get my hands on. So I was lucky to finally get a hold of one of these. Take a better look at this cigar. Now, this cigar is the new collaboration, and it uses a Sumatra seed wrapper grown in the Los Rios province in Ecuador's Quevedo region, and it uses binder and filler tobaccos from Nicaragua. Now, the Robusto, actually comes in three Vitolas. It has a Robusto, which is a 5x54, a Torpedo 6x54, and a Presidente, which is 7.5x54. Now, we got these samples. It come in a little 5-pack at the trade show this year, and I've had a few of these, and it's, like I said, it's supposed to be kind of a throwback to the original blends of Miami. Before they got really huge, and they had to transfer basically their factory and all their stuff to the Dominican Republic to meet the demand, because it became one of the hottest blends, especially during a cigar boom, one of the hottest cigars you can get. And it's actually pretty a rare treat if you can actually find Gloria Cubana from the Miami days. And I actually have two, I think, left in my humidor. So let's take a look at this cigar. Let's get a better look at this wrapper here. Now, these retail from $5.59 to $8.99, and this Robusto is the $7.59 MSRP on this cigar. And let's look at the cap. Pretty nice looking. See, better look at the band there if it'll focus. Focus. There you go. Kind of a classic band. Pretty nice. I like it. Kind of classy. I'm going to go ahead and cut this cap off, and let's see how it goes. Really good draw. Perfect milkshade draw, which I really don't. With General Cigars, it's rare that I have a draw issue with them. Has a real earthy, leathery, and kind of hay flavors on the cold draw. A little bit salty too. It's so far so good. Let me go ahead and light this thing up, and back to let you know how it starts off. See you in a second. Everybody, I'm back. Just got about an inch into it now. The cigar is really savory. It has a cedar and leather kind of a backbone to it, but that Sumatra adds a nice tanginess to it. It kind of reminds me of citrus fruit. But it has a real richness about it. It kind of reminds me also with notes of dark, dried fruits, and also like a molasses flavor too. I get a black pepper on it. It's kind of faint, like right on the palate, but when I retrohale the cigar, I get a huge blast of black pepper. I can't fully retrohale the entire amount of smoke because it's a blast of black pepper. Really nice savory cigar. It's a nice mix of that that tanginess, a little bit of spiciness, the little bit of sweetness, kind of real rich, like the molasses really kind of comes through. It's a very tasty cigar so far. Anyway, I'll get it back to probably go to the halfway point, and I'll be back to let you know how it is. See you in a second. Hey everybody, I'm back and I'm at about the midway point now. The cigar, the flavors kind of haven't really changed. Nothing new came in, but what's more dominant has. I don't get as much of the cedar and black pepper as I was in the beginning. I do get a little bit of the cedar and I get a little bit of the leather, but they've kind of all the three of those have died down. And what I get a majority of now is that citrus tangy note, along with that kind of the molasses note that I was getting. Really good. I really enjoyed this cigar so far. It's just real nice savory notes I'm getting on there. It's got really good smoke volume out of it. Just a whole lot of smoke volume. And I was going to say too, the construction is really well too. There's no touch-ups whatsoever. And as a matter of fact, the ash on this cigar, until it just came on camera, the entire length of the cigar was the ash. I never tapped my ash off. And I was actually trying to hold it on there so I could show you on camera, but literally as I clicked my remote to start recording again, it fell right on the floor. But I was pretty impressed by that. It was a huge ash on this cigar. Very well constructed cigar, nice and tasty. And I'm actually pairing it right now with a new coffee from Lane Coffee. They call it the Valley Blue Moon, and it's a coffee from Bali that I thought would pair really well with this. And my friend Logan Lawler and Rob Rasmussen, that are part of Cigar Federation, they started Lane Coffee, and this is not a paid endorsement or nothing for them. I just happen to love coffee. It's one of my favorite things to pair with a cigar, and I just think they're making outstanding coffee. But anyway, I'm pairing this one with that because when you order coffee from Lane, they give you these little sample packs too. And I usually, when I use whole bean, I use a French press. And those little packets they give for a sample, it's about half of a French press to make it up. Well, I'm lazy as hell. I don't want to make a full French press and then constantly have to clean it, and all that, when I can best get, a cup and a half of coffee out of it, a big mug like this. So a lot of times I'll wait because I order a lot of coffee from them, and I'll wait till I get a sample of this that's the same. What they do is they put a number on there, like this one was number 13. I get 2 number 13s, and then I can make a full French roast. Or yeah, so I kind of waited to do this one, and I have 3 sets of those right now, and I selected this one because this Valley Blue Mountain, the way Logan described it to me, was kind of like a smoother Sumatra. So Sumatra wrapper, thought it would go pretty well with this. Sumatra can be a little bit bitter sometimes, which I don't mind that. And a little bit, muddy's not the right word, but kind of earthy. So this one it's a lot smoother version. If you like Sumatra, it's a smoother version with a little bit more spice on it, with some vanilla and chocolate notes in it as well. And it's pairing really well with this cigar. So anyway, I know a lot of people always ask me, what are you pairing with a cigar? So when I'm doing something that's not water, because honestly, a lot of times when I'm doing these videos, it's just water. So I can make sure I get all the notes on this, unless it's a real full flavored cigar that can handle, you know, something else being on my palate. It uses just water, but it's usually coffee, bourbon, scotch, red wine, and honestly sweet tea, because I'm a southern boy. Is what it is. But anyway, these are pairing really well. This is a great cigar for coffee. So far, it's medium bodied, maybe a little bit skewing towards the medium full side, but really good cigar so far. I'm doing this in the afternoon because it's finally decent weather here in North Florida. It's actually only 74 degrees right now, which is unbelievable right now. So probably getting fall weather. So it's a good afternoon for me to have a cigar and coffee and shoot this review. So anyway, that's what I'm pairing with this so far, and it's going really, really well. And it's matter of fact, I'm recording this on October 17th. They said that would be on the website next week, supposedly, or the next 2 weeks at least. So if that sounds like something you want to check out, you know, good, nice, smoother Sumatra coffee, even though it's not really true Sumatra, from Bali, check this one out. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'll finish this off. I'll give you my conclusions in a minute. See you soon. Hey everybody. I'm nearing the end of the cigar now. Not really much has changed. I do have a new note that's kind of developed in the latter half of the cigar. I still get the molasses, the sweet molasses note, along with the tangy citrus note. The leather and cedar, like I said, it's always there. It's kind of more in the background. The black pepper, I wouldn't say it's been going to come back, but it's a little bit more fuller now than it was here in the middle of the cigar. What I get now is a nice, like an espresso note, like a coffee note, but it's got a nice little bitterness to it. And that actually goes really well with that sweet molasses, and they kind of complement each other and kind of round each other out. Really, really tasty cigar. I really thoroughly enjoy the cigar, and for $8, it's a really good price. It's got a little bit more full body near the end as well, but I would say probably, yeah, it started about, you know, I'd say medium in the beginning, then medium full, and then full at the end. So it progressively got a little bit more full bodied. I don't think it's too full bodied. I don't think it's like a powerhouse cigar, but it does. I mean, it's definitely a like Gloria Cubana. You know, now they said it kind of replicates what they were back when they were made in Miami. You know, back from in the 80s and the 90s. I had those back then. I don't really remember like specific notes or anything because I mean we're talking 20 years ago. I do remember thinking, wow, these were powerful back in the day. You know, when the VSG was probably the most powerful thing you can get a hold of, Ashton VSG. So, and then like Gloria Cubana was also up there. But I do get that, you know, it's reminiscent of that back in the day where it's, you know, really full flavor cigar, you know, a nice, I would say a powerhouse, but it definitely has some body to it. And the body of the cigar, it's not so much power or, you know, Ligeros or whatnot that are in the tobacco. I'm not really sure if there's a Nicaraguan Ligero in here or not, but, you know, just that power, but it's not overwhelming to where you get a bunch of power and you basically lose some flavor for the sake of power like you do some cigars, especially nowadays. But really outstanding cigar. I thoroughly enjoyed this cigar a lot. But I'm a pretty big fan of and here comes a military helicopter right over the top of us. Sorry about that. But anyway, I do get, you know, that nice full body note with a lot of flavor, and for $8 a cigar, that's a really good price for what you're getting for this. So I definitely recommend this cigar. So definitely check these out in your brick and mortar. General Cigars lately has been, you know, putting out some pretty tasty things. Another one, you know, like the Macanudo Inspirado, it's the different ones that they have out there, which I'll have a review coming up in the next couple of weeks of the Inspirado Black Label. So, you know, check that out in the next couple of weeks. Be on watch for that. But really good stuff's been coming out. It's not a lot of just safe middle of the road stuff, what you would expect from some of these giant cigar companies. This is a really tasty cigar, and it's for $8. It's a really good price for that. So check these out. And on that note, I'll see you next time.